With this painting, I knew I was making bad decisions, so I decided to put my brush down. Most of my painting regrets come from ignoring that exact feeling, and this one was no different. So, today I want to show you exactly where this painting went sideways, what I learned from it, and how you can start recognizing those signals in your own work before it's too late. Some of you might actually recognize this painting. I think I did some work on it in a previous video, maybe about a month or so ago. Anyhow, it's been sitting in my studio ever since. So I kept looking at it and thinking there's a lot that I like in it, but it's way too busy. And there's stuff that I really don't like too, like that large green area at the top of the painting. Anyhow, it was a painting that I wasn't feeling any kind of connection to. So I just decided that I was going to move forward with it and see where I could take it. After having a good look at the painting, I decided to start by exaggerating those large dark areas that were already there. I felt like it would calm down some of the smaller areas, and I also felt like they would give me something to react to once I changed them. So after that, I decided to come in with some line. And the more lines that I added, the more I started to like this painting. It actually got to the point where it was speaking to me. So maybe you can recognize this moment too. The painting is speaking to you, but at the same time, you know that it isn't finished. That is the strongest signal that we have as artists to stop and let the painting rest. This is the moment that we need to step back and really think about our next move. So it's kind of like shifting gears, right? When I was on my own journey, I realized this after lots of failed paintings. And when I did finally get it, I had no idea what I was supposed to do when I caught that signal and stopped. Of course, I would study the painting, I'd let it sit there, and sometimes after weeks, I would build up the courage to do what I thought might help. And more often than not, I would mess up everything that I loved about the painting. At the time, I didn't have a process, and I only had scattered knowledge that I had picked up here and there. I spent so much time searching that I was exhausted. So, in the end, I applied for a process oriented art school and I spent 3 years there. Oh, I loved it. I loved the community and I loved the feeling of finally finding my people. And I learned a lot. But the one thing that I needed the most was structured knowledge. And that was something I didn't get. So after 3 years of school, I was still searching. So about 6 months after I finished school, I was able to put together what I had learned by myself after reading an article about the language of art. I couldn't believe that I had finally found some answers. Finally, I was able to start moving forward. I was able to start asking myself the right questions when I hit that point where I was liking the painting, but I knew it wasn't finished. And even though I knew I still had a long way to go, I felt like I finally had something that would help me get to where I wanted to go. So, what does that have to do with this painting? Well, at the very beginning of this painting, I was able to make a few decisions based on the questions that I asked myself. And every one of those questions was formed using the language of art. That was my starting point. And from there, I was able to keep asking myself questions instead of depending on my intuition alone. So let's take a look and see what happened with this painting. So at the beginning of the session, I was doing exactly what we just talked about. I was asking myself questions and making decisions based on what I was seeing in the painting. The darker areas helped calm down some of the busyness, and the lines that I created added something that I really loved in this painting. But towards the end of this session, something changed. I was really tired after painting for 2 hours, and that should have been my sign to stop. Instead, I started to repeat some of the lines from the top of the painting down along the side. And looking at it now, I can clearly see what I was trying to do. I was reacting to that large purple area on the left side, and I was trying to break it up. But the problem was that I was no longer making clear decisions. Instead, I was just reacting. And that's usually the moment where we start undoing the things that we love and that are working, right? So the interesting thing is that I could actually feel that happening while I was painting. So that feeling when you can sense you're reacting instead of deciding, it's actually a really good thing because that means you're starting to hear the signals. While awareness is a crucial part of abstract painting, it isn't enough on its own. That's exactly why I would love to invite you inside Living Abstracts. Living abstracts is not just about learning the language of art, it's also about how you use it in real time when the pressure is on and your instincts are pulling you in every direction. Living Abstracts is an 8-week mentorship. It's small by design with max 10 artists per cohort and never more than 5 in a live call. So instead of being one of hundreds, you're part of a small community where you can get direct feedback on your actual paintings. Every week during our live session, I give you honest, specific feedback on your work so that you know what to do next and why. Applications close tomorrow, March 12th at 11:59 p.m. CET. So if any part of what I shared with you today felt familiar, this might just be a sign that this is for you. So if you want more info, you can find the link in the description. As always, I enjoyed being here. Until next week, guys. Bye.